Hi, Kristian. Hope you're well. I see you made your whole work set today. I also got this note. Um, so even though you stayed at 40, I would like to have seen video. I hope that you didn't run into any problems there. Let's go ahead and take a look at some squats over on YouTube. This is a good camera angle. I like this a lot. I like the squat rack a lot. Good chest. That's a little bit more what they're supposed to look like. Let's break that down a little bit. Here you are. I can see where your knees are relative to the uprights. It looks like your knees are just about at the level of your toes. You're making your knees go out, which is excellent. You're setting up a nice back angle with good lumbar extension. I can see by the wrinkles in your shirt. And you're not quite a third of the way down, so there you are, third to half of the way down. And now your knee position is set and your back angle is set. Let's see if you hold both of those while you lower your hips. Now you can see that your knees are sliding forward a little bit, not too heinous, not as bad as what you used to do, but you need to think about keeping that knee position stationary once you're about a third to half the way down, and then the rest of the movement is all hips. Pretty good hip drive and back angle out of the hole. I think if you slowed these down just a tiny bit and stayed a little bit tighter, you would have less knee slide forward, which would enable you to get a little bit deeper and you'd be a little bit stronger out of the hole. So I think, for example, this rep here might be a little bit hurried and a little bit loose. These have better depth than last time. Good. Not bad. Just too much knee slide. Too much knee slide at the bottom. So let's look at this last one again. Okay, here you are. You're at a depth now where your knee position should be established, back angle should be established, knees should stay right there. We can see where they are relative to the upright on the squat rack, and they should stay there. But you can see that they're continuing to slide forward a little bit. And every bit of that horizontal movement is movement that doesn't get translated into vertical movement of your hips, and it carries you a little bit forward towards your toes. So those are both things that we don't want. In spite of that, you're able to get some depth, but when the weight gets heavier, that's going to be a lot harder for you. So this is a pretty good bottom position, except you've slid your knees forward to get into it. This is probably where your knees should be when you're about a third of the way down. So maybe if you get your knees out there earlier and post them, you won't have as much knee slide. Back angle looks real good. And let's watch the hip drive. That's very nice. That's what I want coming out of the hole. Okay, so now let's look at the second set here. This is actually your third set on the squat, where you said the last rep was really heavy. Give me a good chest up, Superman chest. That's pretty good, except you sort of let go of it immediately. On that one, you're just kind of floppy there. That's a little bit better. Don't lean into the hole. Your back angle is here, right? And you don't need to bend over any more than that. You're about maybe a third of the way down, and your back angle is where it needs to be. The bar is over the middle of the foot. So when you get into the hole, make sure you're not leaning any more forward. Let's look at what happens here. You can see your knees are sliding forward relative to the uprights, which provide us a good vertical reference. Still getting some depth, but the knees are a little bit floppy. Now they're sort of flopping back a little bit as you get the bar over the middle of the foot and drive hips. Pretty good. Pretty good on the way up. Yeah, that one was a little bit loose coming out of the hole. Reach back. And just think about putting the bar over the middle of the foot. The bar goes straight down over the middle of the foot. And that rep was high. I didn't quite trust your hip drive on that one. So form is getting better. Still some problems, but there's nothing unusual about that, and we'll just continue to work on those. All right, now let's look at your pull-ups here. Not much to say about pull-ups in terms of form, but I did want to see some. Again, with the pull-ups, I kind of want to see your whole body, but I can tell you're not kipping these too badly. And you're doing them from a dead hang, which is exactly what I want. And that's how pull-ups. That's how pull-up programming starts. It's tough, and you add 2 or 3 a month, and that's real good progress. So it's slow going. And here's the bad news: once you do get your pull-ups, where you can do like 3 sets of 10, or 3 sets of 8, or 3 sets of 15. If you don't work them constantly, they'll detrain in a heartbeat. I mean, they'll really, really detrain faster than anything else. So pull-ups require dedication, but it's good to see you making progress on this. So good workout, and we'll proceed as planned. And I will see you again on Friday or Saturday. Take care, Kristian.